Alright, so we got more spoilers for chapter 1083, and there is a massive twist in this chapter. Like, I knew it was coming. Considering what we went over yesterday, which you can check out the video in the top right corner, I'll also quickly post the spoilers right here. You can pause the video and read them if you'd like. But we're going more into the chapter in this video, and like I said, there is a huge twist. I mean, you read the title of the video, so let's get into it. We see good action from Karasu. Fujitora is preparing for a huge attack. The revolutionary captain's face was shocked, then cut to Sabo, and we don't see what happened. So go figure, we don't see what happened. But honestly, I'm happy that Oda is at least coming back to this fight and showing us some of the details of it, which gives me more hope that he's going to go back to some of the other many fights that he established or set up or just told us that simply happened but didn't show us. I mean, not all of them, of course, but hopefully the most significant of them. CP0 is impressed on the strength of the Revolutionary Army. CP0 said if they are not in Marijois, they would have destroyed everything. They are talking about the admirals and the revolutionary captains. So I guess this means that CP0 is acknowledging where they are in the world, or at least telling the audience more so if we were still confused at this point. Yes, they are pretty powerful. We saw how far Lucci has come. He has an awakened Zoan now, and he could, I don't know, at least trade one blow with Gear 5 Luffy, but for the most part got destroyed by him. And they're more so establishing that, like, yeah, we're not on the level of admirals, and maybe not even on the level of the Revolutionary Army commanders. Because, you know, what is being said here is kind of implying that they're somewhat around the same level, or at least Fujitora and Green Bull, who are, you know, definitely weaker than Kizaru, Kuzan, and Aki Inu. Aki Inu for sure. Cobra is lying on the ground next to his wheelchair, and Sabo is next to him. The picture from the newspaper that says Sabo killed Cobra looks real. It's not a drawing. Probably Morgan took the picture after the Gorosei killed Cobra, and when Sabo arrived, Sabo was shocked when he read the news. So I think this is probably the truth. Like, this is an undoctored photo, because the way that it was worded before, it seemed like Sabo could have, I don't know, been realistically perceived to have killed him. Like, even Dragon was like unsure, which still bothers me to this day. He should have just gave him the benefit of the doubt. But I guess if he did see this exact picture, which looks, you know, totally genuine in the world of One Piece, I guess even Dragon would possibly have to second guess it. But as we know, of course, Sabo obviously didn't kill him. We talked about it in the previous chapter, but it could have been the Gorosei themselves that killed Cobra, or maybe it's the quote-unquote Holy Knights that we're going to be talking about next. But first, let's talk about the sponsor of this video, The Ridge. Guys, I absolutely love The Ridge. They are one of my favorite companies to work with, and that's because I think they genuinely make great products. And the ones that I use the most are the wallet and the key case, which are a part of their daily driver kit. Guys, just these two products alone have upgraded my everyday life. It feels so nice in your hand and has good weight to it. It's slim and minimalistic and perfectly and securely holds your cards. Typically, I like to use the matte black or the aluminum. I think it's very aesthetic and sexy. But aside from that, like I said, I also use the key case. This thing has changed my life forever, because before this, I was just using like a ring around my keys, but the Ridge key case just took my key game to the next level. It even fits my gym membership, which is so sweet. I'm also using the matte black on this one, but there are plenty of other awesome colors that you can choose from. So guys, if you're interested in getting your very own Ridge wallet, check the link in the description and make sure you use code BIGZ. That way you'll get 10% off of your purchase. You'll also be helping me out as well. Thanks, guys. But the Holy Knights is going to pertain to what we're going to be talking about in the final portion of this video, as well as the big twist that possibly involves Shanks. But let me just first go over what we talked about with them yesterday. So it said that the information about the 8 kingdoms that oppose the world government because of what had happened to the kingdom of Volusia. These 8 kingdoms refuse to pay taxes to the world government, and therefore the government decides to send the Holy Knights to them to deal with them. It was mentioned that the number of Holy Knights is 9. So after we went over that, you know, we got hyped. We're like, oh, the Holy Knights are back. And I didn't remember in the previous video, like, what chapter they were mentioned in, but OP Spoilers 2023 very nicely provided that information for me and us here. It was actually chapter 1054, which coincidentally, that's like Shanks's big chapter where he shows up and apparently he was like near Wano. And then it cut over to Fujitora, Kizaru, and this new guy, Kuroma, discussing the events of the Revenant. Reverie. Kizaru was like, can we assume the attempted murder of Saint Charlos is solved then? And then Akainu said, as far as the accusation that Saint Mjosgard let the attacker escape, that's being deliberated in the land of the gods. The Holy Knights have intervened, and it's all a big mess now. So yeah, that was the first and only time besides this chapter that we had heard of them. And the final spoilers that we're getting for today's video, at least, is one of the Holy Knights in the middle looks like Shanks. He has the same robe or cloak, the same sword, and also the same position of the sword. So I know when I first read that myself, it was like the dopamine started flowing. Does this mean that Shanks is evil and he is a celestial dragon the whole time? Because I was also in Tokyo a couple weeks ago at Anime Japan, and I asked 2 of the cosplayers like if they think Shanks is a celestial dragon or if he's evil. And I'll be releasing my full video on Anime Japan soon, so subscribe for that if you want to, hear what their answers are. So I was able to see this quote-unquote leaked panel. I'm pretty sure it is legit. And if I didn't have any context to this or anybody influencing my decision, I wouldn't think that this was Shanks immediately. I would just think it's like a cool looking dude. And his sword, I guess, kind of resembles Griffin. But now that I look at it, and of course I have the power of suggestion on my side because it's been hammered home by multiple of these sources, even like Worst Gen, saying that this looks like Shanks. There might be like another panel that I haven't seen yet where we see like close-up of him and he does look like Shanks more so, but I guess he kind of does look like Shanks from this silhouette. But I just want to put it out there because I don't think it's guaranteeing that it is him. Now, also keep in mind that this isn't happening in real time in the story. This is more so a flashback, right? Or at least I assume this is a flashback to like when the Reverie was happening. And as we remember, Shanks was there. He met with the Gorosei. So that is very interesting that it could possibly line up with that. And of course, the whole long-standing theory about Shanks being a freaking celestial dragon, I made like 3 or 4 videos about that topic. If this isn't like Shanks himself, then it could be one of Shanks's relatives. It could be Shanks's brother if he has one, because why not? Could be Shanks' dad, because in the film Red movie, it implies or just lightly suggests that Shanks could be coming from the quote-unquote Figureland family, who are, celestial dragons. So this could be another member of the Figureland family. And if it's not, then it is just straight up Shanks, and that is the huge twist here. That Shanks has to be subservient to the Gorosei sometimes. He has to moonlight as one of these holy knights. And that makes sense, because like I was saying in the previous video, the world government doesn't seem as strong as you think they would be. Like, I'm pretty sure that if 2 Yonko crews teamed up, they could probably take them down if they really wanted to. But if they have Shanks on their side, then yeah, obviously there's no chance that they could probably win. Maybe this is another reason why everybody is so afraid of Shanks. Like, the people who are in the know, rather than him just having the whole aura of him being a Yonko, maybe they know that he's a holy knight. And other people have also speculated that if Shanks is now a holy knight, then that could mean that Mihawk is as well. And that is why Mihawk and Shanks are rivals, because they were both brought up in the Holy Knights program. And that's why they're so powerful. And maybe that's why Mihawk is the way that he is, because he broke away from that stuff. And it could also go into why Mihawk has the same eyes as Imu, or why Yoru has similar markings that the Empty Throne has, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to go too much into that. I would love it if this is Shanks and he is a holy knight. I think that would be the incredible, amazing twist that we've needed in this series, at least for Shanks. But I'm also fine if it's just one of his family members, or if it's just a twist and it's not even him at all. But the one thing that just kind of points me away from it being a family member is like, why would they have the same kind of sword as Shanks? Like, he has Griffin. Why would they have that? Unless Griffin is like something that was passed down through the Figureland family and they have multiple of them, like the Katetsus. Not really sure, but I will be making another video once we get Read-On's full summary. So subscribe to that if you haven't already. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you in the next one.